Kia ora tātou. Welcome back to the Wargaming Den. This week's game of O Group sees my New Zealand Rifle Battalion taking on German's Grenadier Battalion. We're just playing the encounter mission tonight. We've both gone for 20-point battalions, so both based on a standard regular rifle battalion. So I've got 3 companies. My supports have got a staghound platoon to give myself some recon, a tank destroyer platoon of 2 N10s, their job's to take out any heavy German tanks, and a Sherman platoon of 2 Sherman 3s sections. And Keith has changed his force a wee bit. He's running a Grenadier battalion, standard battalion with your forward observer and mortars and 3 companies. He's got the ubiquitous MG platoon that throws out 12 dice, never leave home without one. He's downgraded his Panzer IVs. This time he's taking an assault gun platoon of 2 Stug 3Gs, and he's also gone for a Panzer platoon of 2 Panzer 3Gs as well. Right, let's have a look at the table. Let's have a look at the initial deployment. Now, I thought I had 7 combat patrols, but looking at this photo, it looks like I've only got 6 and 2 on unit, on table unit. So sorry about that, Keith. I think I may have made a bit of a mistake there. Keith, for his part, has got 7 combat patrols and 2 units on table as well. Let's just have an overview of deployment. Now, this was done before we actually put our first platoons on table. So for me, my Shermans went in behind the building here in the built-up areas. My Staghounds I placed here, thinking that this was a wood and not an orchard. And that's just my brain once again. So what happened in the first turn is the Stugs fired straight through the orchard, hit one of the Staghounds, and my Staghounds did a reaction to get all the way back here out of line of sight, but that was a bit of a whoops. So here the dots I've just placed over where the combat patrols are. We both deployed 12 inches on, so I've just got a line around here. Now my plan is I want to advance on both sides of this road with A company and B company, put pressure on over here. My third company is going to their area is here, and I'm just want to refuse that flank really to start off with, see what happens from there. Keith's got his Stug central. I think one ends up there and one there again, so that they've got long range to dominate. And he also put a rifle platoon forward here, and I think there's a combat patrol there, but I could be wrong. They can be a wee bit tricky to spot, but that gives you a good overview, I think, of the initial deployment anyway. And here we have just a bit of an overview of deployment for both sides before we roll on to turn 1.
That would be me first.
Before we do admin, turn 1, the Germans went first. They came forward with some Stugs, thinking that they ruled Europe still, and unfortunately the Stugs
They no longer do.
don't. They got hit by British artillery, and one got suppressed, and then M10's got a fluky hit and killed one at needing a 9 to hit, and we also suppressed over there. If Keith keeps rolling most of his dice below 3s, this game's going to be a doddle.
It's going to be quick.
Orders dice on turn 2. We are both skating with nearly having a hesitant company. 2 0 orders for Keith. The rest, which is 7 company orders. I got 2 0 orders, 2 battalion orders, 5 company orders. Okay, one thing I did want to do in this game was get better at my close combat assault. So here you can see I have sent in a platoon of New Zealand infantry against a suppressed Grenadier platoon. So I hit them with Staghounds, made sure they were suppressed, and then I have charged into close combat. These 4 little circles mean it's cost me 4 orders to do this.
Okay, turn 2, the Kiwis went first. Started by putting pressure down here. We had suppressed the platoon and then charged them with the infantry and 1 in close assault. 1 squad survived and retreated back there. But I then got ambushed by the MGs on the hill, and they in turn suppressed and killed one of my stands. But this being O group, I then reacted to the ambush with my Shermans from over here, Kiwi Shermans of 20th Regiment, and they in turn suppressed the medium machine guns. But wait, there's more. Panzer 3s came on, Panzer 3Gs, 5 points of wonderful Panzer 3, best German tank of the war, if it's in stug form, and they shot, but it once again missed the Staghounds. But earlier than that, the German regimental artillery pounded the hill. They suppressed one of the M10s, 2 shock on the other one. I took those shock off with my late minute rally rule. My observer retreated out of the area he had been suppressed, and this stone is all that is left of the poor company commander who looked up just in time to get plastered by artillery. So the current score is, after all that, 3-2, and on to the next turn.
Okay, as you can see, there was a lot of action in turn 2 actually. So there's that destroyed Stug is over here. That's the platoon that I did a classic infantry assault and drove the surviving squad back. So the Staghounds had supported the attack going in here. Got another infantry platoon deployed here, and that was deployed in the end phase so that it's in position to flank and enfilade the machine guns next turn if I get initiative. That dice there means I actually did take a hit. That's a damaged Staghound. I think one of the Panzer 3s got him. So lots of action in that turn, but I was really happy with the way that infantry assault developed. And there's the Shermans that Keith had forgotten about, hidden out of his line of sight, protected by this building. They had a nice direct fire shot up at the machine gun platoon there. So interesting turn 2. On to the next turn.
Turn 3, the Kiwis get 1-1 and 8 regular orders. The Germans get 2 6s, so they're going to be well and truly up to full battalion orders. They'll be at 6, and that'll give them 6 company orders, and I'm currently sitting on 4 battalion orders. So the initiative should go to the Germans, but we will wait and see. Interesting turn 3. Damage on my Staghounds from reaction fire from the Panzers. I scared Keith by doing an artillery battery when I had a suppressed guy that couldn't actually do it, so we had to take it back. But it had worked really well up to that point. I assaulted the medium machine guns, killed one, drove the other one off, but then got myself suppressed because Keith deployed some troops, and the M10s have rallied and are moving forward and managed to miss the Panzer 3s. So turn 3, things are looking interesting. We're both sitting now on 4 breakpoint dice, foobar dice. Well, I don't know what the official terminology is for them, but it's 4-4. Turn 4, I get 1 battalion order, 5 regular orders, 2 1s. But Keith rolled 4 1s. He gets 1 battalion order, 3 regulars. So one of his companies will go hesitant. Yep. The ones with the Panzers.
And the Panzer 4.
Ooh, nasty. Kiwi's got initiative on turn 4. We pulled back off that hill. The Germans tried to react at us, but missed. My M10s were up here. They took a few shots at the Panzer IIIs. They hit once with cover, but then missed. And unfortunately, this hill got pummeled again. One M10 ran off the board and the other one ran to the edge of it. But the replacement company commander was here. So I've now lost 2 company commanders on this hill and thinking it's a bad idea, and also got a suppressed observer again. But we've got the staghounds tucked in behind this hill, hiding from the tanks. And Keith has got no more artillery barrages, which we're very happy about. So on to turn 5, we've got 9. We're having a rundown clock, and we've got 9, I think, possible chances. So probably a couple more turns, maybe 3. On to turn 5.
And just before we do move on to turn 5, here we have the losses so far. So I've taken 6 and Keith is still sitting on 4. I've lost 2 company commanders from A company. So A company now is drawing names out of a hat to see who gets nominated to be the company commander. It is a very unlucky job for that company. Inconceivable.
Turn 5, Keith is trying really hard to throw this game by rolling 4 ones again, and I managed to get no ones, so I've got 6 regular orders and I'm up to 5 battalion orders. Keith's going to be up to 3, maybe 4. Kiwis went first on turn 5. The Shermans got lucky, killed the Stug. I tried to suppress these guys, got them suppressed, but wasn't able to charge home because I had 2 shock on me over there. Brought the Staghounds round to shoot at those guys as well. And as you can see from here, that made this group a very nice target for the German battalion mortars that shocked the crap out of 2 platoons of infantry in the Staghounds. So that didn't quite go to plan. I did manage to get another... No, I don't think I killed anything, but I lost 2 stands here from the Panzer IIIs, and that put me up to 2 Fubars. So I've now taken 8 losses to 5. So the Germans are hanging in there and actually have now taken the lead as we move on to turn 6. Turn 6, the Germans definitely sense blood in the water. I've got a hesitant company. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2 at that end. 3, 4. It is the middle company with the Shermans. Oh, that was lucky. And the Staghounds. Easy. We've got this. Germans 2 battalion orders, 4 regular orders, and the initiative might go Germany's way. 11 losses to 5. Why? Because the artillery blew up both of the Staghounds and killed an infantry stand. This infantry stand, the last survivor, the kitchen sink got thrown, everything else out of the bathroom landed on his head, but he managed to pass all his saves to keep the Kiwis in this game 11-5. If they win from here, it will definitely be the world's biggest miracle. Turn 7, the Kiwis are trying their damnedest to throw this game. Another hesitant company, it's the one on the far left this time, and the Germans get 6 regular orders and 2 non-orders. Nobody has any battalion orders. Keith's on 4, I'm on 3, so could go Keith's way, but not necessarily. The final charge by the Germans, close combat, killed 2 stands and took the game, but the Kiwis came back and got it up to 8-11 before those last 2. The Shermans killed a Panzer, and my artillery did some damage to the troops back there to pull it back. I think I got 3. So almost. That was a really, really good game though. Thoroughly enjoyed the way that unfolded. The Germans started with, it was 5-1 or something, and then the Germans just came back strong, and then at the end the Kiwis, but their number of losses were too high at that stage, but they almost pulled it back. So very well played, Keith.
That was another great game. An early lead to me disappeared and Keith ended up taking it. I deployed all three of my companies. Company boundaries was here and the second company boundary went around there. So I tried to push this way. Happy with that first assault, but one platoon being left isolated was quickly counterattacked after being suppressed and destroyed, so that wasn't ideal. This was a bit of a schmozzle in here as well, where I allowed myself to get hit by the German artillery battalion mortars 2 turns in a row. They did a lot of damage, and also the 2 German artillery strikes onto the hill did a lot of damage and disrupted my attacks nicely. But I did push forward this way, supported by the Shermans that came through here, and I just really was trying to hold here. Keith ended up getting a platoon up here, but as it tends to happen in O group, once you get into contact, you kind of, I'm not sure if tunnel vision is the right word, but you run out of orders. You're focusing on the action in one area, and because it costs 2, 3, 4 orders, sometimes if you use a company commander for a second order, you can really chew through orders quite quickly. But yeah, it was a great game, really. Keith played well. I was happy with the way that my close assaults were working, and I actually tried to push up here using this road as the boundary between 2 companies. So my thought had been, if I can get one company in position to offer suppressing and covering fire, then the other battalion hopefully will be able to push forward. And it worked to a degree, but again, it's just getting used to that. But I think I'm getting really comfortable with the nuances of the rules now and feeling much more comfortable with how I'm playing the game. Next week we're going to start the Normandy campaign out of the Normandy 1944 book with the first scenario in that, and we're going to play those over the next 5 or 6 weeks or however long. But yeah, thoroughly enjoyed that game. It was awesome. Really, really good fun, and look forward to another game and report soon. So if you made it this far, once again, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, ka kite anō. Take care.